Now seating for Empty Theater Club.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Empty Theater Club, a show for people who have cherry cola, cowboy boots, and Eric Romer stills saved on their Pinterest. I am Val.
And I'm Cam.
Where to even begin?
Where do we even start? Yeah, it's been a slow week for pop culture, I feel like. I think everybody's busy at the Glastonbury Music Festival, I guess, but there's something that you're really excited about, and that's Manny
Jacinto
having a moment right now. Let's talk about it.
No, love interest finally. I think some of us have been here from the beginning, and my beginning with him is The Good Place.
I've not seen, unfortunately.
I feel like you would eat it up. I also feel like in my mind that show ended, I think, after season 2. I know how it actually ended, but like that's where I shut the computer down, where I was like, if I were to rewatch the show, that's where it should end for me. But no, I'm so super happy for him. If you guys don't know, he's playing Lindsay Lohan's allegedly playing Lindsay Lohan's love interest in Freaky Friday 2.
Yes.
I'm constantly thinking about Freaky Friday. I'm specifically the purple dress, the 2-piece set that Lindsay Lohan wears at the end at her mom's wedding when she's playing the guitar.
The thing about that movie is like I should really rewatch it because it's kind of insane performances that they're both doing. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, I hated you for winning the Oscar, but if you were winning it for Freaky Friday, maybe
I would have let it go.
Right.
I agree.
Her ability to play, like the scene when she realizes Lindsay Lohan or Lindsay you know what I mean?
You know who it
belly
is.
button pierced. So good. I mean, their ability to play different ages. I mean, wow. Movie making.
It was very much like them playing different ages was so like Haley Spade playing different ages in Priscilla. Like the range.
So true.
You know, like that was very parallel to that. I just remember being little and watching that movie for the first time and being like, I can't wait to have my license and go get McDonald's fries.
Yeah.
Like Curtis.
Well, something for me is as a ginger, it just felt so good to be represented on screen.
Correct.
You know? Yeah. When I was growing up, everyone would be like, especially when I was little, I looked like Lindsay Lohan from The Parent Trap. No, I didn't. I just had freckles and hair, but it's okay that we get
so cute. See, when I was little, people would just be like brunette. Okay, Dora. So at least you had a national treasure.
That's not good.
No, not good. I was like, that's immigration coded. That's George Bush's America.
I think like neither of us follow. I won't say that we don't care because when I'm at Disneyland, I do care quite a lot actually. But I think he's in a new Star Wars show or he's going to be. And I saw him like flinging around the lightsabers and people kept being like, this is what Adam Driver thinks he is. And I'm like, first of all, put some respect on Adam Driver's name. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
I do agree that he looks very hot. And maybe I will be re-entering my Star Wars era for that.
I also think the true test of maybe not the truest test, but a test in Hollywood to see just how hot you are.
True.
Put you in a Star Wars adjacent costume. Hold for applause for people pulling off bald caps.
Yeah.
Emma Corrin wearing the bald cap.
I don't want to talk about it actually.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I can't believe Emma Corrin only has one movie this year, and that's Nosferatu. Like, you think they would be way more booked and busy, but they have nothing else happening at all. There's no movie coming out this summer. They only have a Christmas movie. Now, thinking about hot It Boys happening right now, like Manny, Mr. Austin Butler, who I continue to fall victims to, even as much as I try not to. I see him on that screen, and it works. It works his magic. Bike Riders just recently came out. I did see. Did you see?
I have not seen Bike Riders yet, but I'll be seeing it when it's streaming in, 10 days. After it was only in theaters for 10 days. This movie has Austin Butler, Tom Hardy in it.
I know.
And Big Movie is saying, let's take it home. No.
I know. I just don't. I mean, I want to look up its box office because I'm really curious how it did. It does feel, I mean, it's a Focus Features, and I do feel like those are a perfect Sunday matinee film, especially for an older generation. But I think it would be a much better like November release, a little bit more of like trying to do an awards play, even though I don't think it is going to get an awards play. But it's a slow month, so I could see why it thought, hey, maybe we'll get, it's kids movie month, so I could see why it thought it would get some adults, but I think we just have a tendency to put stuff on streaming way too soon before it's really given its time to catch that audience of people who are just now hearing about it. Like old people are not
Yeah.
going to be there
Press
day one
tour.
at the theater. Come on.
No, you have to let the press tour simmer. And the issue is virality versus trend. Let something pick up steam. Let it go. And I think that's interesting me bringing up November because I feel like with a movie called Bike Riders and once again Tom Hardy being in the cast, I feel like for me that could either be a July or November release because it's very like election coded. It's very like very just when are people flocking and it's
Right.
November around, the holidays like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Or having summer vacation off and people have a couple days, a random Thursday to go, a random Sunday to go to the movies.
I will say, I work at my local movie theater and I was leaving the theater one night. We're right next to a bar and it's like a sketchy dive bar, right? And there were two guys on motorcycles parked right out front and they go, "Hey." So naturally I'm terrified for my life as a young woman in her 20s. And I go, "Yeah." I say, "Hello."
Me?
And they were like, "Are you getting Bike Riders?" And I said, "Oh yeah, we're not getting Bike Riders." I was like, "Yeah, I think so." And he was like, "Well, I saw it and I loved it. It is such a good film, man." And I was like, "Okay, so the motorcyclists are coming out for this film. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. For this man to have drove an hour to see Bike Riders." And then he was like, "Hey, I want the poster when you get it." Like, he wants the poster. So there's a following there.
I think it's so important. Support your local bike riding gang that wants to see bike riders specifically.
Yes,
And
I think so.
Not the gangs that want to drive anywhere else and do random alt-right things.
Right.
Specifically the bikers that are interested in bike riders.
So another movie that's coming out soon, Long Legs. I did get my ticket, booked and busy.
Yeah, I mean, it's certified fresh. I saw this morning, certified fresh. And it's the movie that people have been, losing their minds over, leaving the cinema. I love the dramatics. I love when people can't stand gore. It's one of the most human things of human nature is being like, get it away from me. I love the idea of someone paying money in this day and age and then getting up from their seat and leaving. And not only leaving, but leaving a bad review. Being like, I was so repulsed. I love it. I can't wait to watch.
Right.
I can't wait to watch. I'm so excited.
What did you expect going into that movie? Like,
oh, right. Well, I just also think like, is the trailer business flopping? Why didn't you see the trailer? If anything, trailers gave away too much. You knew.
If I have to leave the theater, 5-star review, top of my list. Like
100%. No, that's how I think. Like, if I have to leave a review, I also don't believe like there's like bad movies because of like how much goes into a movie. But like regardless, that's work. Like that's a work of art. Maybe it wasn't for you, whatever. So this is point of view me watching this horror movie, just like covering my ears, being like
eyes closed, ears covered.
Yeah, not even eyes closed because I'm just kind of like, well, what's happening? I need to squint. And also horror movie in the middle of summer. Like that's the American dream. Because then afterwards, I mean, you watch the movie with your Red 40, right? Which I don't get here because it's banned.
Oh,
but it is banned in the EU, Red 40. But afterwards, you can get like a soft serve cone. You're tan. The sun had just down. You're wearing jean shorts, but you brought a sweater because the movie theaters get colds. Like I'm there. I'm sad. I just like can't. I'm just so happy and just for all the teenagers who get to watch that movie on a first date.
Also, Enzo just went live on a DJ set.
As in
the Enzo birthday.
He is live.
Live DJ. He's in Madrid somewhere. We need to end this podcast and you need to go out there and listen to the music. Find the DJ.
It's intermission time, folks.
We are so back.
We are so back.
The Enzo side quest.
Yeah. It was like the Enzo adventure. But it was a moment. Okay, composing myself.
Yeah.
Speaking of being so back, today, as you see in my name, the George Russell P1 trophy, today was the Austria Grand Prix. And you know who was at the Austrian Formula One Grand Prix? Hans Zimmer.
Oh.
Hans Zimmer was not only leading the national anthem, the Austrian national anthem, on electric guitar, shredding, mind you. But he also announced that he's now officially the film score producer for that new F1 movie that Brad Pitt is producing and that Lewis Hamilton is involved in. So yeah, we're so back. We're so back.
And it's Joseph Kosinski. What do we know him from?
That's
Oh,
the
Top Gun Maverick, of course. Wow.
one job. We had one job, and it's to know the Top Gun Maverick cast.
Director.
God,
That's the
Tom
way
Cruise
we
is
just started.
everywhere.
Tom Cruise is everywhere. This is intense, actually. I will say, I do think that movie sounds kind of fun, even if I wish Brad Pitt was dead.
Death to all of them.
Sorry, I'm not scared to say it on the podcast. Maybe you're scared. I'm not scared.
Brad Pitt, I will never say that because not even for legal reasons, because Brad Pitt and I are from the same hometown.
And speaking
Brad
about being from the same hometown, guess where Joseph Kosinski's from? Marshalltown,
Oh.
Iowa. Which is not where I'm from, but what?
Oh, what? No, but what drives me insane is knowing that like Angelina Jolie knows what Springfield, Missouri is. She has driven on I-44. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually really big. There's something, I mean, we talked about this last episode, but there's something about driving on an interstate in the Midwest.
Yeah. So Angelina Jolie, I stand with Angelina Jolie, but yeah, I can never speak ill.
It's a hard breakup. I get it. I understand. It's hard. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for Hans Zimmer for you and for that and for Joseph Kosinski and Marshalltown, Iowa and everybody in between.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge. I think like watch the space. 2025 is the year of F1.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think this is gonna bring it to the forefront. Yeah.
It's gonna literally bring it. It's also the year of Dune, Messiah. Huge year for me.
And Batman. If you
Oh,
care.
Batman.
I do care. So
Yeah, clap if you care.
we're clapping.
So
I know it's going to be an insane year for film in the same way that it feels like so far 2024 has been an insane year for television.
insane year for television, specifically, I mean, The Bear. So I just finished the season, which
I've not watched a single second.
and that's okay. And guess what? Nothing's changed.
There's been not some good reviews. How do you feel about it all? Tell me, spoilers ahead.
Spoilers.
I feel like I wasn't moved at all. The only thing that I was moved by was Cousin. I need him to get an Emmy for this show again.
Yes.
And I also need him to get an honorary Emmy for playing Desi in Girls.
I knew
Sorry.
you were gonna say that. I'm not
Sorry.
No, I'm not surprised.
Whatever minute
I knew
into
you
the
were
pod, mention Girls. Because the thing is, the more he becomes Cousin, the more he becomes Desi in Girls. Like those two characters
Are this
would yes, and
That's
you either get it or you like when you watch the show, because you inevitably will.
I will.
They're so interconnected. They're like soul sisters. So I'm really loving that. I'm also loving how Tom Brown is
Yes.
just dressing the Bear Girls down. It's like TB is not for Tom Brown, it's for the Bear.
The Bear.
Dressing Molly Gordon, Aya
Yeah.
Debris. Also not part of the Bear, but Lee Pace.
Who looks always amazing. Yes.
Yeah, we don't remember where we were when we saw Lee Pace in a Tom Brown pleated skirt.
No, when I saw that photo of Lee Pace, though, I will be honest, because I was scrolling so fast, I thought it was Logan Roy. Yeah. And I said, he's back from the dead. Speaking of good television, you know?
That's so funny. And he also dressed Will Poulter, who
Who's also in
again,
the Bear. And I have questions. So what's his role? Does him and Io kind of have a flirtation going on?
he's the professional. He's keeping it professional. I mean, I think I would love to be written as the Bear to smooch Will Poulter. Personally, I also love a role where Will Poulter gets to keep his accent, like his actual voice.
Beautiful accent, beautiful head of hair.
You don't buzz
Yeah.
cut right now, but yeah.
Yes, but in the back, you know.
Yeah, no, brows, beautiful brows.
So what, like, I actually do want to get into spoilers and plot. What is like the arc that this story goes on this season then? Because really, I feel like I've seen people say this too, but they opened the new restaurant too soon, like in season 2. So what does season 3 have just keeping it open?
Season 3 is they're trying to like all of season 2 they talk about like restaurants usually don't make it past like the 3-month mark. So
Okay.
season 3 is their first full month. And
Okay.
like trying to get through that and getting through reviews. The big plot line, which didn't even come until episode 6,
Ooh.
is the Chicago Tribune reviews the
Okay.
restaurant, and they don't know because like they had like a full list of like one of the Fact brothers, which is played by Maddie Matheson, the
Yes.
chef guy.
I love it.
Yeah, literally, I was like, did not know that he was a big deal. My brother-in-law had to tell me that last season. I learned anyway. The whole thing, he came up with
Me
like
finding out you have a brother right now?
no brother-in-law. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Nothing about me. No,
Everything had changed for a second.
There's no part about me that gives off I ever lived with a boy.
No, I
Or
said this isn't. I almost ended the podcast for good and never talked to you again.
No. Yeah, just like people being in their feels the whole time and
Yeah.
them being really bad with money. And then Io gets she gets another proposition at another place and has to balance that. Don't worry, the decision does not get made in this season.
Oh,
So-
naturally.
And then Sugar has the baby.
Oh, right.
Okay? So that was a whole episode, which like I'm glad. But
Mhm.
I will say the shining star of this season was, which I didn't even know that this was the episode that she directed, but it was turned out to be the episode that Io directed. And it was about Tina's life,
Mhm.
how she got to, where she is now with the restaurant. And it was really beautiful because Mikey was there as obviously a flashback. And so I think that was the equivalent of Three Fishes last
Mhm.
seson.
I
That
love
was-
Cousin though, so I mean, any scene he's in, I'm happy about.
I mean, I see his eyes and I go, like, I'm twirling my hair, I'm kicking my feet.
The
when I-
meme of him like pushed up against the glass window looking over is, I think, one of the funniest photos to ever exist. Second to maybe the photo of him holding that loaf of bread.
Oh, the
There's
loaf of
something
bread.
about him that is just so whimsical and charming. I feel like I've known him in a past life. We've picked flowers out at my grandmother's farm, I
I
love
can
him.
smell that photo. Like there's just
Yes.
something about a man actually not even freshly, just with stubble,
Yeah.
holding a carb. Gonna do it for me every time.
Yes.
Every
Well, I'm kind of happy that The Bear is in its flop era because that may open up some doors for award show contenders. And I am here once again to convince Val and everybody else to watch Interview with the Vampire and vote for it at the Emmys if you're a voter, if you're part of the Academy. I just had my season finale. Technically, AMC do not sue me. The season finale has not aired because it airs at 8 p.m. CST time, and I did watch it illegally on a link yesterday. I don't know how this show got renewed because none of the fans watch it live.
I do want to experience it, and I also feel like I trust your opinion,
Yeah.
but it's taking like one more person to tell me to watch it for me to be like, oh, okay, I'll fucking watch it. But I also need you to know that every time I see like an interview with what is it, my interview with the vampire, or what is it?
It's
Interview.
IWTV, Interview with the Vampire. Yeah.
I read it as my date with the president's daughter. Like I read it interview with the vampire. I need you to know that.
I love it.
I kept thinking that it's my interview with the vampire. So I was like, oh, my interview with the president's vampire. So maybe that might be the thing that gets
That's
me.
what's gonna get you to watch it. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the season finale had so many plot twists that I think people have read the books kind of like. The nice thing about the show is it's
a
like,
book series.
oh baby, it's a book series. There's like 20 books in the series. Oh my God. It's a huge book series, a huge amount of books. I do think the TV show has changed a lot from the books. I don't even think Louis Black in the book. So that's first of all, but like
Diversity win.
but that's like a major plot point of the show of like his race and how that plays into him like being a vampire. So
Wait, so there's racism in Transylvania.
girl, he's from New Orleans, but nice try. But yes.
Okay. Wait, how are you gonna have a vampire in New Orleans and not have them Black originally in the books? Well, that just seems like a plot hole.
Have you seen the 1994 movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise? Because he's from New Orleans as well, and they're both white. So interesting.
true.
Interesting.
True. See, like people need to start. Like you were doing really well on pitching me to watch it because it's Grey Worm from Game of Thrones.
Right.
Main guy whose name is
Yeah.
Louis.
Of course, Louis de Pointe-du-Lac, famously.
Right. But you just have to start saying, like, I thought it was like European. I was like, I can't take another European show.
Well, they do go to Transylvania.
Woo! Transylvania mentioned.
I don't think it's actually Transylvania, but the vibes are very Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And then they go to Paris in season 2, but the first season is all based in New Orleans, and that's why I'm like, I have to go to Mardi Gras. But
Wow. Okay.
yeah, no, it's all based in like 1900s, and then from there forward, we don't get till 2022 until the like season finale. Actually, the interview that's taking place is in 2022, and it's like told through flashbacks, and they're in Dubai for that. So world travelers. They also go to San Francisco.
Vampires coming to a city near you.
Near you, yeah.
Is it on? What kind of like?
It's AMC. I know. You can have my login, babe.
But this is, I thank you. Don't let them know that. But this is actually perfect because I need to rewatch Mad Men. And also you need to watch Mad Men, which is only available on AMC. You mean to tell me you have AMC this whole time now and you don't have
I have to watch Mad Men?
But one thing about me is that I've always gone the extra mile for people who don't deserve it. Because my freshman year of high school, there was this like guy that I kind of had a crush on.
Oh no.
And we both, I don't know how Mad Men came up. I'm 14. How did Mad Men come up in an iMessage conversation? I don't know. But I remember I like painted the it's so bad. It's so, like I want to give her a hug. After the theme song ends, like the main credits, him like leaning on. Yeah, but like him on the couch and he puts his hand out with a cigarette.
Oh,
that image I literally painted. I painted that and I remember I like posted it on like, I don't know, maybe like my Snapchat story or something. And he was like, this is so cool. And I was like, yeah, I love Don Draper. But like, I'm like really inspired by like Megan, I would say. Like,
stop it.
Yeah, so I've been a Mad Men fan.
I actually think you're entitled to like compensation for that trauma. Like,
yeah, I mean, talk about therapy. No, it's just the overall perfect vibe. I truly, before it was taken off of Amazon and Netflix, I tried to rewatch it around like August every couple years. It's the perfect summer show. And I feel like everyone is always talking about like European summer, Call Me by Your Name summer. I'm here to tell you, as someone who lives in the continent of Europe, no, enough with the propaganda. We need to be having a Don Draper summer, getting really into like tennis, getting really, really into swimming laps, indoor and outdoor pools, enjoying a Negroni, going to the movie theater at 2 p.m. and not telling anyone you're under air conditioning.
Yeah.
We need to be listening to Don Draper more. Well, you know, summer is just in full swing, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's almost July. Speaking of July, stream July by Nell Mescal.
Yeah, no, 4th of July is going to go so crazy this year. I'm so jealous that I'm not in the States for it, which I never thought I'd say.
Speaking of the 4th of July, it's time we go into our Tom Cruise corner.
Put your manners back in.
Tom Cruise was famously born on July 3rd, which completely makes sense, I think. When we think about Tom Cruise, first of all, cancer, right?
Oh, cancer, yeah.
Second of all, being born on like one of the like close to one of the most famous days for American. And Tom Cruise is very American. I know he's having his hot girl Europe summer right now, but he embodies the last American superstar. And then he's in that movie Born on the 4th of July, which I have not seen. I don't know if he's hot in it. I will Google right now. If he is, I will be watching tonight.
Yeah, let's Google, was Tom Cruise hot in the 4th of July?
Oh, he's not hot. I'm so sorry to say.
Well, 9/11. That's what I'll say about Tom Cruise not being hot in 4th of July.
In segment there.
No, it's crazy. But he was having his like Euro girl summer. He was in Glastonbury with Coldplay. He was in the same crowd as Saoirse Ronan, Paul Mescal, Daisy Edgar Jones, Dua Lipa, Callum Turner. Absolutely wild.
Yeah, Dua Lipa was at Glastonbury too.
she was the headliner on Friday.
Wow.
And there's something about summer. Summer is the time for dance. Last year, speaking of Dua Lipa, everyone was doing the Barbie dance with her song Dancing the Other Way, and then also the dance from The Idol with Lily Rose Depp
Yes.
was doing it. And I feel like this year, the summer dance there's two dances. One is the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader dance that I'm addicted to doing. It's so good. So it's
Right.
that dance to Thunderstruck, and then the Apple dance.
And would you like to demonstrate for us right now?
I think the apple's rotten right to the core. And then people keep messing up here. This is not a heart. This is an apple. I split
Makes
the
sense.
apple. Dun, dun,
Who
dun,
sings
dun.
the song?
Oh, Charlie XCX.
Oh, and I am so, please forgive me, Lord. Please forgive me.
Scarlett Atchison from Essex. Singing about generational trauma. She is half Indian, raised in Britain. It
I just
symbolizes
learned so much about Charlie XCX. Thank you for that.
Charlie
Yep.
XCX. His cousin. Yup. I'm leaning back, and that's Charlie XCX. Me in a trailer park, but the hat is like Midwest Princess, but by Chapel Roan.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what they say about Charlie XCX. Yeah, that's my final form. But I do love a summer that has like a dance that we're all doing.
Not to get incredibly deep on this podcast, but the one thing I'm thankful for TikTok is us as humans, we need to be moving our bodies. It's so, why are we not dancing? Let's dance.
Let's dance. Let's dance.
We haven't even talked about this film update. I know it was a little bit later than ETC started, but I think neither of us have recovered from the news of the potential Beatles cast. This is insane for me to even fathom. And you're a Beatles lover.
Yes, this is huge in Val Nation. It is huge in my people. I just meet myself. Yeah, the rumor of the Beatles biopic is crazy. Most importantly, Paul Mescal potentially playing Sir Paul McCartney. Paul playing Paul. Say Paul McCartney, Paul Mescal 10 times.
It's Harris Dickinson as John Lennon, Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr, and Charlie Rowe as George Harrison. First of all, I'm obsessed with Charlie Rowe getting a spotlight, and these three's names. Been a fan since Rocket Man. But I also am loving Paul taking on, like, not the John Lennon. Like, I think Paul could have very easily been a John Lennon, kind of, rougher, artsy character. And Harris, who I think is a beloved, would have been a good fit for Paul too. So yeah, I'm glad that they were like, I mean, I think Barry's probably going to be the most like, I'm so deep, but I think it's really, really good cast. I don't know. It's nice that they're not trying to be edgy, I guess.
I agree. And I also feel like, I wonder if Paul auditioned for John and they were like, no, you have this in you. You can lead a little bit more than you think.
But also Paul is a good singer. I will say, shout out. I know people had their doubts, but he has sang with Nell several times on covers and is incredible. I think he has solo stuff too, but it runs in the family, that talent.
But I do also wonder, and this, once it's formally announced, then we'll get more like specifics, but how...
Yeah, watch none of this be true.
Oh,
I was like, I didn't audition. I'm not in the movie.
Yeah, like, I don't know, spoiler. But I think it was you who said like you have your theory about like
they're
maybe
announcing it to see how the audience reacts.
Yeah.
I think it was leaked to see how people would react to this casting. This is a known Hollywood trick. People do this. So I would not be surprised if that's a big part of it. And I also think the lack of denial says a lot too. Do you have an answer for who you'd want to play you in a movie? Because I do have one. I think it's so easy to go for who looks like you. And in Hollywood, we don't need to go by who looks like you. Okay, let that go away. Who do you
Also, the
think?
personality shines through.
Yes. Yes. So who would you want to play you? I have an answer.
Oh God, I don't know. I feel like for me, I go back and forth on it because I'm like, I don't give me the thought. I get everyone else cast before I even get to me. But maybe, what's her name? Maybe like Jenna Ortega, but I feel like that's just a cop out. Because I'm like, exactly.
No.
Right. No, I know. I agree. I'm like, I know. I don't know. Like,
Well, now I hate that you don't have an answer and I do, but I said I want Daisy Edgar Jones because first of all, I just cut the bangs, but
Just save the bangs.
cut the bangs because we're so close in age. So I think her horoscope sign must be very similar to mine. And I think having a similar horoscope sign, May 24th, 1998, not to dox myself, May 28th, 1998. I just feel like there's something there. And you know what? I'm going to also throw this person here for either of us or as our friend. I think Kaylee Spaney would be so good because she's had the Midwest experience and she can bring that into the role. I mean, honestly, for you, Rachel Zegler.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, that's a little too on the nose. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good choice. I wouldn't be mad about that. I'd be so happy if Rachel asked me about my life and I got to gab with her about my childhood.
It'd be so sweet. I cannot wait for the Empty Theater Club movie.
Oh, it's gonna be. I can't wait for this era that they'll cover. It's gonna be Daisy Edgar Jones and Rachel Zegler. Oof.
Talking about Daisy Edgar Jones and Rachel Zegler.
Right. It just keeps going.
Welcome, Stan Twitter, for casting those two together. You're welcome.
Making your dreams come true. This is for the girls and the gays.
Yep.
Thank you for your consideration.
Our FYGC is some guy.
So God. If you haven't been on Twitter yet, let me just set the scene. It is a man in a pink, very bright pink shirt.
That sounds like Palm Springs, I think.
Yeah. And two people come up to him and it's pretty much like the person you see at the corner at a party meeting two people at the same time and being like, wait, how do you two know each other? We'll also post on our Instagram a clip of it. So but I feel like that was, and it went viral without any of the sound. We come to later find out this man is Italian.
No, he's not actually Italian, is he? I thought he was an American practice as Italian.
But whatever, he's speaking Italian.
He's speaking Italian.
In that video, he is speaking Italian. Like that's critical information.
We need to get the lore behind him. I will say he looks so kind and I would love to go to a coffee shop and see him.
Well, I would love to be introduced by him because it feels like he's thinking of every detail. Talk about a listener. There's not enough listeners now.
Yes, exactly. Eye contact, hands, friendliness. I love it. All right. So this has been Empty Theater Club.
Join us next week.
Yeah, thanks for being here and welcome to the club.
See you next week.